Do you have a belief in God? Well, I Googled it. 95% of the people believe in some kind of a God. And I would say the other 5% have a God, but they don't realize it. They have the God of alcohol, drugs, sex, money, video games. The list goes on ad infinitum. It's where they run. It's where they go when the pressure's on and they can't handle life anymore. They need an escape. So they escape into these things, and it gives them temporary relief. And it may give them relief for years. But the day eventually comes when they can find no relief in their false God. And then what do? Many people start reaching out for that God that they say they don't believe in. There's an old joke. It may not be a joke if you're in the foxhole, but that says that there are no atheists in foxholes. Because when you're in a foxhole and the bombs are dropping all around, no one can help you. You may be blown up at any moment. So you pray. And maybe you're one of those people that are praying to a God you don't believe in. But you're just asking for something. You're looking for something because you can't do anything. You can't get out of the hole. You have no control over where those bombs are going to hit. And you're just hoping that maybe all those people that believed in a God, that said God performed miraculous things, maybe they were right. And what have you got to lose by reaching out? And that's where most of us have to get before we actually reach out to a God that we may not believe in. I've been there many times, more than once in my life. I've always believed in a God, but it took me a long time to start trusting that God to manage my life. And what do I mean by that? What I mean is this. When I make my plan, and I follow my plan, and I work as hard as I can, and I do everything I can to make that plan come to fruition. In contrast to that, everything starts going the other way. And it seems like I get farther and farther away every day from that plan coming to fruition. I get further away from that, and all my actions seem to push me even farther away from that. I have come to the end of myself. And that's when I decide that maybe, just maybe, there is a God that I don't understand, that maybe knows a little bit better than I do. And for whatever reasons, my plan, my action isn't working. And I need to stop and trust and do nothing until I get an intuitive thought or nudge to do something, to do the next right thing. Now, I'm all for having a plan. You need a plan. I plan every day. But at the end of the day, I look at my plan and think, who's running the show here? How much went how I planned? And when I look back on my life and look at my plans and how many of them didn't work out and how some of them I seem to have gotten what I wanted, but in the end, as it played out, I would have been better off had I not gotten that. That's when I realized that there's a power, a force, a divinity, a God that knows better than I. And the biggest job I have every day is to cooperate with that. To realize that I can't see down the road. I can't see the big picture. So how do I know that if I meet this guy at 10 o'clock, that that's going to be the answer to my problem, that he's going to have the answer? As I'm driving there to meet him, I hit traffic. I left early, but there's no way I'm going to get there. And I think this guy, meeting him, is vital to achieving my goal. I think because I figured it out. But for some unforeseen reason, I couldn't see before I took off, I'm not going to get there. And this guy has another appointment and he's going to leave, and I am not going to get to meet him. And this was my only chance. So, what then? I don't make it. We don't have the meeting. I'm like, what the hell? But I need to accept that I don't understand, but I need to trust that this God that I don't understand has a better plan. And invariably when I do that, it may not be the next day, it may not be the next week or month, it may be a year. I will look back and be glad that I missed that appointment. That something or somebody, God, whatever, knew better than I did, could see the big picture. And what I thought was exactly what I needed was not what I needed at all. What I needed was to miss that appointment. This is just one of many hypothetical situations that could happen in your life. But I'm sure you can think of some real life ones. Coincidences, when you happen to run into somebody that you needed to see, or when you happen to not be able to meet someone who you thought you had to meet that was vital to your goals. We only see in retrospect. We cannot see down the road. We cannot see the whole puzzle put together. And that's where trust comes in. You have to trust. But if you have no relationship with God or divinity or nature or whatever you believe your guiding force is, what do you have when you come to the end of yourself? Could it be that's why 95% of the people believe in a God of some sort? Could it be that's why many great men throughout history have been men of faith who believed in something wiser, greater, more powerful than themselves and were able to accomplish great things? Could it be that some of the greatest scientists said they didn't figure out these formulas, these cures, these inventions? Somehow they came to them from what some called universal mind, universal intelligence, the all mind. They just came to these people. Where did they come from? Somehow I believe we're all connected to one universal mind that knows everything that's ever happened, that is happening, and that will happen down the road. And you can connect to this power. But it's not something that you figure out with your conscious mind. It's something that you allow to come into you by removing the clutter, the resentment, the anger, the guilt, the shame, the belief that you are all powerful. You, what I mean by you, is your conscious, rational mind. We are taught to figure things out, to use thought processes to run our life. And the thinking mind has its place. But the only place the thinking mind really has is to impregnate the subconscious mind, which is connected to superconscious, or connected to God if you like. And that part of you is the part that can figure everything out and give you the answer, if you are open and acceptable to that answer. And it can run your life better than you could ever imagine. And it's actually running your life today according to the program or the information that you are putting in there. The thoughts that you think every day, your dominant thinking. If you think life is terrible, a grind, every day I get up, I do the same thing, and I'll be happy when I get to that goal, when I get that $1 million, when I get that $1 billion, when I get that new home, that beautiful girl, that family, retirement, whatever in the hell it is. If you think that's where it's going to be, you'll be very disappointed. Because I'll tell you where it is. It's right now, in this moment. This moment you're watching me. This is it. If you're not enjoying this, if this isn't the goal, so to speak, you won't be happy when you get to that goal, that futuristic goal, that someday I'll. Boy, when the kids graduate, when I get divorced, when I get married, and it just goes on and on and on. Some futuristic date, sometime, some event when you're going to be happy. Now is that time. These are the good old days. These, right now. Right now. You'll look back on this time, even if you're going through a difficult time, and think of it as a fond memory. I can look back on my life. I've been through divorces, custody battles, and an angry ex-wife who contrived things to get me in trouble. I tell you what I did do wrong. I was trying to run my life on self-will. Even though my motives were good, I was trying to live by self-propulsion instead of God propulsion and allowing life to flow. I thought I knew what was best for everybody, and I pissed a lot of people off. I've since taken care of all those things now, and I'm friends with those people who were trying to destroy me. But that's what happens when you try to run your own life by a rigid set of plans and ideas, thinking you know what's right. And you can even get people to agree with you, and they will agree that you're right. And you may have good intentions, and you may be right. But what would you rather be? Correct, right, or happy? And have peace. Peace of mind. It's a priceless gift. Something for you to think about today. Hit that like button and subscribe. Thanks for joining me. Take care.